yeah, Friday. Yeah, Friday. Uh, uh. Yeah. What's up, y'all? Friday. Time to have some fun. Friday. It's Friday. What's up, y'all? Urban Therapy with Sun 752, and this the Daily Go Get 'Em Business Show. I'm your host, Sun 752, aka Omar with the and if you can't say Omar with the well, then you just say Omar with the R. This is the Daily Go Get 'Em Business Show. Friday night, and feeling like a real man should. I hope y'all feeling like real men and women should also. Tonight on the Daily Go Get 'Em Business Show, we are talking about the reason why female groups can't stay together. Why they always breaking up, can't stay together. Why they always stay together. Why they always can't stay together. Always breaking. Well, you know it's true. Look at it. I mean, going all the way back to who sung Mr. Sandman? Send me a dream, boom, 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 making the cutest. That going all the way back then to all the way now. It seems like all female groups make about 2 albums. By the time they get to that 3rd album, it's like, well, nah, we gonna do our own thing. We're no longer together. I'm going solo, she going solo, we going solo. We won't be together no more. Going on a farewell tour. Farewell tour, y'all only made 3 albums. Can we get 1 more? I can't stand to look at them chicks no more. I'm tired of them. They make me sore and they make me sick. My stomach be turning. I feel like the butter is churning. Yo, it's time for me to leave. I'm the best in the group anyway. Best believe, baby. So I'm out and I'ma be doing this thing. That's without a doubt. And they was never down. Yeah, they was getting too much money and I wasn't around. And plus some contracts was making me feel like my pockets was flat. and they thought they was the shit. She can't sing. I shouldn't even get with it. Well, I got my reasons. I'm with you for a reason in the season. We gonna see you in the next lifetime, Erykah Badu. Yeah, it was a group of 4, then it was 3, now it's just 2. And it's time for the 2 to be so low. Yo, that's my girl. But you know how it go, man. I'm gonna see you. We still thorough. But that's what we talking about tonight. That's what we talking about tonight on the Daily Go Getimism Show. Make sure y'all hit that like button while y'all on your way on up in here. Please hit the like button, share the show, subscribe to the channel. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, let me say what's up with my people initially. My peoples. T carry right morning, noon, and night. It's always great to have my peoples going directly into your site. And my man Seka Salah, yeah, do whatever he got to do to secure him a dollar. What up, y'all? Yeah, the reason female groups can't stay together. Hold on, huh? It looks like I'm living in the past. Let me get this together. Let me get it together, y'all. Get it together, y'all. It's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right, son. I mean, we're gonna be all right. Just chill. Friday night, y'all know we do this on Friday night at 1 o'clock. When I was writing up the show, I wrote it for 2 o'clock in the morning. Then I had to go back and look at it. I was like, oh, nah, man. I got to go back and get it right. So we are here. Let's get it clear. Let's stay together. Let's stay together. I said, let's stay together. Let's stay together. Me and you, let's stay together. I'm gonna note it for real. Let's stay together. Let's stay together. Let's stay together. Let's stay together. We're gonna be like a girl group. Let's stay together. Let's stay together. Let's stay together. What we gonna do? Get this money together. Let's get this money together. Gonna do some business together. Do some business together. Yo, let's get paper together. Let's make a movement together, baby. Let's stay together. Let's build a family together. Let's get this paper together. Let's change the world together. Let's be the best that we can be together. Let's learn and grow together. Let's stay together. Let's stay together. Let's stay together. Let's be happy together. Let's be together. Let's leave each other never. You my brother, baby. You my brother. Yeah, you my sister. We ain't go away. You know I'm gonna miss her, but sometimes you can't get along. All we gotta do is pick up the beat and do a song. But sometimes egos get in the way, and we gotta break up today. It's kind of messed up. We are in the costumes, all dressed up, baby. Tour bus, we was on tour, and I wasn't really sure. Something said I can do it no more. I'm sick and I need a cure. I don't want to get no money with you. That don't even sound like it's true. Shit happens, baby girl. Shit happens, baby girl. Let's stay together. Let's stay together. Let's stay together. Let's stay together. Yo, hit the like button together. Participate in the poll together. And that's how we doing it. That's how we doing it, baby. We're gonna talk about these girl groups tonight. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna talk about these girl groups tonight. Hold on, y'all. I gotta take care of a little something. I'm gonna get right. I want no problems tonight. I want no problems. I'm gonna be up here performing. I gotta get it together. I gotta get right. You know what I mean? Go ahead and get this medicine. Get the medicine popping, son. We're gonna get this medicine popping. What up? What up? We get this medicine popping. What up? How y'all feeling, man? Everybody good? We good. Levels is good. Levels is good. Levels is good. Now, no drugs. No drugs. That's my allergy. That's my Zyrtec. I got to get it right. I got a cat that I'm allergic to, but that I love. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, the weather's changing, pollen all in the air. I'm like, come out the crib, the car's all yellow, covered with pollen. What's good? Buttercup 25, what's good? How you feeling? And what's that? Shenanigans? Shaninas. And I can't even read the writing. I got nothing, but it's all right. I'm here, you here. Let's stay together. All right. So we're talking about the reason female groups and why they can't stay together. Why can't they stay together? Now, this is what we're going to do tonight, man. We're going to talk about, oh, that was the Cordettes with the Mr. Sandman. Send me, that was who that was? Damn. Yo, man, people, yeah, that's why I like y'all. Y'all be knowing things. But yeah, you know, from the beginning of musical time, it just seems like female groups that come out and they be strong and they sound great and they look great and they, you know, they doing their thing and they coming out with hit records. And you're like, yo, yeah, this is a good look. Come out with an album. Album is on fire. The album is selling, is doing well. Second album come out. Things get different. Do they make it to the third album? A lot of times they don't. So tonight we're going to talk about the reasons why they may not. What's the reason? Off the top of your head, think about all of the female groups. I don't care whether you're talking about rock groups, pop groups, R&B, because there have been a lot of female R&B groups. Country groups. Yeah. There have been a lot. I know in the 90s, there were a lot of female R&B groups. A lot. You know, let's see. TLC, SWV, Jade, 702, 3LW, Destiny's Child. Brownstone. What up, Nicole? Good to see you. Haven't seen you here all week. It's good to see you. Who else? Brownstone. I said 702, didn't I? 3LW. The Spice Girls. They came out in the 90s, right? Sold all kinds of records. They wasn't even American. Man, I'm feeling like a real man should. You think I'm total. Good. Sake of solid. You on it. Total. And how many albums did Total make? They was really done by their second album. And you know that first album was on fire. Kissing you is all that I've been thinking of. Kissing you is ooh, ooh. It's my shit. Man, that's Total is the shit. And you know, with female groups, it ain't even always about the pipes. You know, they don't always be the greatest singers. They might have a lead singer that's really, really all of that. They got them pipes, got them chops. And the rest of the two, or the three or whatever, however it goes. They can hold their own. They can hold their own. You won't be getting like a Ralph Tresvant, Johnny Gill, and a Belle Biv DeVoe, and a Bobby Brown. You don't normally get that out of no female groups. No shade. It's just it just doesn't seem to escape. Thank you. How did I forget them? They my favorite. No, SWV is really my favorite. Escape gotta be number two. And the reason that I like both of them is because they both had strong lead singers. Well, all of Escape pretty much could sing, except maybe for Candy, who happened to be the lead singer a lot of times, and who wrote all the songs, and who made the most money. You know, except for that. But yeah, En Vogue. Thank you. En Vogue, definitely. Cheetah Girls. Okay. Who else? What? But look at the consistency of all of these groups. How many albums did they make? Each one of those groups that y'all named, that first album was on fire. Almost every song on the album. You could just listen to the whole album. Ooh, 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 la 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 la. Nicole L says En Vogue was the group. They was. And to me, En Vogue third album was their best album. You know, when they kicked Dawn out. Get out of here, Dawn. You know what I mean? You out here in these streets these days begging. Fuck out of here. Get out of here. When En Vogue was down to just 3, you know what I'm saying? What you wanna be? Cause I can't pretend. Don't you wanna be more than friends? They was my shit. Buttercup said the Supremes, you hear, but they ain't come out in the 90s. They ain't come out in the 90s, baby. And the Supremes didn't have a lot of albums. Motown didn't produce albums. Motown used to just produce singles. They was a singles. Think about it. You don't know of a lot of back in the Motown days in the 60s. Hardly anybody had any albums. If you wanted albums, you had to go over to Philly International because Motown was just singling you to death. Single. All the groups on Motown didn't really start making any albums until they went to other labels, like the Temptations, like the Four Tops. Okay, hold on. Okay, Crispy Bacon was good. Sex Pistols, never mind the Bullocks. The Sex Pistols. That wasn't a girls group. What are you talking about? All right. Soul to Soul. Soul to Soul wasn't a girls group. But since you brought up Soul to Soul, not only does it seem like girl groups don't stay together. Oh, by the way, Soul to Soul didn't come out in the 90s either. But I'm just saying. You know, it came out in the 80s. Yeah. But since you brought up Soul to Soul, you brought up an interesting dynamic because not only do female groups not stay together, all female groups don't stay together, but even when a female is the lead singer or the head of an all male group, they don't stay in the group either. Check it. Shaka Khan. Solo and Dia Davenport of the Brand New Heavies. Solo. She came back, but she left. Lauryn Hill. Solo. Who else? Chrissy Hynde of the Pretenders. Did Chrissy Hynde of the Pretenders ever go solo? All right, Stevie Nicks of Fleetwood Mac. Solo. Well, I said there were a lot of R&B groups of the 90s. So I was naming all of the 90s groups. I didn't say we were relegated. The whole show is not relegated to just the 90s, but a lot of female groups came out in the 90s. But a lot of all-female groups came out in the 70s too. Had High Energy, The Emotions, the Jones Girls, what was that? We Are Family, Sister Sledge, the LaBelles. Did the LaBelles come out in the 70s or did they come out in the 60s and last into the 70s? I don't know, Raggy. But nonetheless, the 70s had a lot of girl groups. The 80s, they had groups like the Go-Go's. Rock group, an all-girl rock band. And they could play. Drums. We got the beat. We got the beat. That was my shit. Our lips are sealed. Vacation, all I ever wanted. Vacation hat. Okay, Atlantic Star. Now, I think that the female in Atlantic Star, I don't think she ever left. Or the SOS band, I don't think she ever left either. I don't think she ever left. Climax in the 80s. Climax, all-girl group. How many albums, baby? How many albums? Dude, they still battling over the rights to the name of the group. Shout out to Fenderella. What's her name? Fenderella. Something Irby. Fenderella Irby. I mean, Fenderella is not her real name, but Irby is her last name. Delta Transmission says, you're welcome, Nikki. Nikki had to check myself. Nikki had to. Oh, okay. Oh, y'all talking. Oh, let me see what y'all talking about. Nicole Ellis says, who sang Do You Mind If I Stroke You Up? With Cut Close. Yeah, that was Cut Close. They had one album. One album. No, they can't. No. Keith jerked the shit out of them. But Cut Close had a good album. That was a good album. It got slept on a lot. Okay. Wait, you said, mind if I stroke you up? No, that was Changing Faces. Stroke You Up. That was Changing Faces. Oh, okay. Delta Transmission said that, and that was with R. Kelly. That was R. Kelly. Not Keith. Yeah. Okay. All right. You got it. All right. My bad. I'm behind. Yeah. My bad. See what happens when you get in grown folks' business. I'm coming here all late, like I know something. Yeah, hey. Kareem Akbar Muhammad, my brother, what's going on? How you feeling? All right, come on now. Cyndi Lauper. No, but Cyndi Lauper was a solo artist, so we can't count her. Cyndi Lauper, have you ever? However you spell her name, I loved her. Girls Just Want to Have Fun. time after time. Money changes everything. The whole fucking album, but she wasn't a part of the group. But she was produced by what was the name of the group that she was produced by? She used to hang around them all the time, but she wasn't part of the group. She was like the little sister of the group. Buttercup says Supersonic. JJ Fad. All right. They had one album. They had two albums. They second album was called Still Not a Fad. It was ass, but the first album was ass too. Totally ass. They sold records. But they was ass. They were bad. They were bad. Okay. Good looking out, Delta Transmissions. Appreciate you. Sikasala says Gwen Stefani blew up in her group and solo. Yeah. Black Eyed Peas. Black Eyed Peas. You know what I mean? Even when females are in an all-male group, they can't stay together. Why is it? That's what we need to talk about tonight. Why? What happens in the girl group? Listen, I know somebody listening to this show has been in a girl group. Y'all might not have made a record. Y'all may have made a record. You know what I'm saying? But somewhere, some of y'all, was singing in some girl groups because that's what little girls used to do. Practice these little steps. Grab their little hairbrush. Okay, all right, I'm going to do this part. Okay, listen, I'm going to do, you know what I mean? Y'all. So what happens with women when they form a musical group? What separates them so soon after they get they big start? And that's the poll question. Let me look. See, we got 12 answers on the poll. Let me see. What do you think is the reason that female groups break up after a short time? Only 8% said money differences. Wow. 25% said catty jealousy issues. Wow. 42% said bad contracts. Wow. And 25% said leadership differences. Damn. Those are some interesting answers. Y'all different. I'm feeling it. All right. Okay. We'll see. All right. Let me see. Coco T. What's good? Haven't seen you around here in a minute. Good to see you. Says because some are just eye candy, but lack talent, and the talented ones don't want to split the money evenly. That makes sense. But why did you want to split the money evenly starting out? Because the thing is, your first album is your baby. Now, for a lot of musical groups, their first album is the album that they don't customarily have a lot of input in. Because you're new in the game. Record companies think that they know everything. They think that they know what the public wants. And quite frankly, they're going to promote what they think is going to sell. They're not going to promote what they think is beneficial to you. So you might want to put your message out there. You might have something that you want to say to the world. The record company don't give a shit about that. They want hits. They want hit records. So if they don't think that the songs that you think are going to be hits, they're not going to put it out. They're not going to promote it. So that first album normally doesn't have as much of your input as you would like it to be. But there are exceptions on a solo side. On the group side, to be honest with you, a lot of female groups were put together by producers. Like they didn't even know each other. You remember that group Expose? The Expose back in the 80s? Come go with me. What you feel like? Come go with me. Well, none of them knew each other. They didn't know each other. They got like one from California, one from Chicago, somebody from Texas, and somebody from Minnesota. It happens. You know, some producers know each other. They know somebody who can sing or somebody who has a good look, somebody who will fit in the group or whatever. And they put them together, write a bunch of songs for them, produce the songs, get them a contract, and put them out. So, you know, so a lot of times the talent may not really be there and the input of the artist may not be there. And the camaraderie is honestly not there. TLC. Left Eye was from Philly. My baby brother, I call him my baby brother. He was my roommate, and you know, he was my young boy in college. When the TLC album came out, I had the CD. He looked at the CD, he was like, hold on, oh, this is my roommate at the time. He said, hold on. He went and got his yearbook. He went on the prom with Left Eye. I was like, well, I'll be damned. He was like, yeah, she was saying that she was going down Atlanta and blah, 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 blah. He blew it off. He got into the music business too. And he was doing his thing. But yeah, so she was from Philly. I'm not sure where Chili and T-Boz was from, but Chili wasn't originally in the group at all. It was another girl that they got rid of for Chili. So bottom line is, In Vogue the same thing. They didn't know each other. They ain't like they were homegirls. Now, Escape was different. They actually knew each other, grew up with each other, sang with each other, practiced with each other, and got they start and they contract together. So it was different. It was different. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't the same. But a lot of times that first album, that's your biggest shot. That's where you shoot your whole load. That first album. You might not get a second album. You might be looking around for a second album. That second album is often a disappointment. Some of them do good, the second album. But you know, around that second album, they already be ready to call it quits. Everybody going solo. But some of us just going home. You know what I mean? Some of us gonna be home. They're gonna be using that album cover as a dustpan. Like, Mom, you using my album cover as a dustpan? I'm sorry, baby. I couldn't find a dustpan. You got so many of these records around here. You know, I just used this one. What a disgrace. Let me be the one. Yeah. Okay. The Bangles. Wow. Blondie. Well, Blondie was a all male group with a female lead singer. But did Deborah Harry ever go solo? Did she go solo? Because I don't. You know, I'm not saying that she didn't, but I don't remember. Nicole Ellis says, I'm in a group by myself, me, myself, and I. Wait a minute. That was De La Soul. Meeting in the ladies' room with Climax. He said, what I'm drinking? You know what I'm drinking? I'm drinking my Colarine. That thing, I don't even know what color this is tonight. That shit is like taupe. It tastes good tonight, though. I mixed that thing up right tonight. Okay. Coco T says Salt and Pepper was being paid as writers and performers, and Spin got mad because she wasn't getting royalties because she was only being paid as a performer. Salt and Pepper didn't want to pay. And it's funny because Salt and Pepper actually didn't write most of their rhymes, and I know that for a fact. This rapper named Fat Doug used to write most of their rhymes and Kid and Play rhymes. Not all of them, but most of those hits was written by Fat Doug. Google Fat Doug. He was ghostwriting a lot. Delta Transmission says heart. Oh, all right, Delta Transmission. Oh, Delta Transmission going deep. All right. Okay, with the rock groups. Okay. Apollonia 6, Sex Shooter. Wow. Well, you ain't gonna say nothing about the Mary Jane Girls? Who was better between Apollonia 6 and the Mary Jane Girls? Mary Jane Girls definitely gets my vote. You know what I mean? Apollonia, first of all, it was Vanity 6. At least they had a hit with Nasty Girls. Do you think I'm a nasty girl? Nasty girl. What hit songs did Apollonia 6 had? What the fuck is an Apollonia? What she was like, Indian or something? She like the time Morris Day and Apollonia might be the last surviving members of Purple Rain. You know what I mean? Rest in peace, all y'all. Okay, hold on. Damn, Delta Transmission says Cyndi Lauper sold 9.5 million units and has 11 studio albums. And you know we only knew like her first 2, maybe 3. Because the second one, you know, with True Colors and all of that. Yeah. Now at the time when what was the name of her first album? It wasn't Girls Just Want to Have Fun. That was a single. She's So Unusual. She's So Unusual. That was the name of her first album. At the time, it was like double platinum, but that was a big deal. That was a big deal because that's when albums were albums. Albums were albums, tapes were tapes. Okay. All right. Johnny West, what's going on, my dude? What up? It says, which one was the one that set the wide receiver's house on fire? Oh, that was Left Eye. Lisa Lopez, Left Eye. May she rest in peace. Kareem says, Climax, the female time. That was a girl band. They was good. They could play. Coco says, Boys to Men. The deep voice guy was there to add texture, but couldn't really sing. Same as with New Edition. Mike Bibb and Ronnie can't sing, but have charisma. I wouldn't say that Mike can't sing. He can. Not Mike. Ricky. Ricky can sing. Ricky can. Oh, you said Mike Bibb and Ronnie can't sing. No, I think you're right. I think you might be right. But they also, Ronnie was the best dancer in the group, and the rapper. You know he was actually going to come out with a solo rap album. He didn't, but he threatened to. Like, I'll do it. All right. Okay. Johnny West says crazy chicks are fun when you're young, not when you own shit. Yeah. You like MC Light? Yeah, but she was a solo album. We ain't doing no solo artists. We talking about why female groups can't stay together. What are y'all doing? What are you doing, mommies? What's up with y'all? Y'all can't get money together. We can't get no money. We can't get no money. Mary Jane Girls. Mary Jane Girls was way better than Apollonia 6. But Prince was better than Rick James. Not that Rick James was no slouch, because he definitely wasn't. But you know. Delta says she was in The Last Dragon. Yeah, she was. No, Sheila E. was in The Last Dragon. Sheila E. was in The Last Dragon. Wait a minute. Sheila E. was in Crush Groove. Who was the female in? Was that Apollonia in Last Dragon? Who was the female lead in The Last Dragon? Vanity. That was Vanity. It was Vanity. It was Vanity. It was Vanity. I had it right. It was Sheila E. in Crush Groove. Yeah. She was like, run. Run. She had run them tight. run with Saudi. He like, yo. Yeah, Sheila E. had run. She had run. Run was ready to lay hands on somebody over Sheila E. Like, yo, this ain't going my way. Kevin Mackin, what's good? What's good? Hold on. Wait, hold on. Alright. Sega Sala says TLC Crazy Sexy Cool Greatest Girl Group Album. I like their first album better. I know their second album sold the most. But I like the first album better. But TLC definitely made 3 albums. They might have made 4. They might have made 4. Matter of fact, I think they did. Kevin Mackin says, I don't know how to answer your poll question. Why not? All right, Delta says, he was the bass, and they all came together to make the sounds. Oh, you're talking about Mike from Boys and Men? I mean, even though, you know, he wasn't like, he ain't had a pipes, but he was the bass. But most importantly, he was the talker of the group. I mean, without Mike, there is no end of the road. I ain't trying to hear all that singing. I just want to hear Mike begging, pleading, bitching. Yeah, I knew you was out with that other fella. I just didn't care. You know what I mean? Just come back to me. Just come back to me. You know what I mean? But you won't come back to me, will you? Just come back to me. I saw Boys the Men perform End of the Road at one of the Eagles playoff games at halftime. I was like, but it's only 3 of y'all. It ain't no mic. You know what I mean? Yo, this song can't go down. I don't want to hear this shit. You know what I mean? I'm not going to cry over End of the Road when there ain't no mic saying, yeah, but you know, listen. I knew you was with that other nigga. I don't give a fuck. Listen, I need you to come back home, but you ain't gonna do that. You so selfish. I'll let you fuck the other boy and still come home to me as long as you ain't burn me. And you still acting like stupid. Like, damn, just come home, shorty. Come, give me his number. I'm gonna tell him to send you home. Like, listen. I know we like husband-in-laws and all that shit. Listen, man, I ain't trying. You know what I mean? We need to do in the interest of she's gotta have it. She's our Nola darling. So this is what we gonna do. Just like in She's Gotta Have It, you know, like you get her on these days. I need you to send her home on these other days because you know we got kids. So send her home so she can make peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and frosted flakes and you know what I mean, and go on school trips. And yeah, you can have her like on the weekends and shit. I can send the kids to my mom crib. You know what I mean? But you just won't send her back home to me, will you? Yo, homie, just send her back home to me. Damn, both of y'all motherfuckers stop. We belong together. And you know that I'm right. You've been blowing that nigga and treating him good all night. All right, anyway. All right, what we got? Kevin Megan says, because they fight over me? I don't know. Amwish, Buffalo. What are you talking about? New Kids on the Block. What are y'all talking? Huh? We only talking about female groups and why they can't stay together. Coco T says Vanity was the last dragon. And Cindy. No, wait, Chris. Nicole, what are you doing? You just naming any group, huh? Beat Street over Crush Groove all day. Beat Street over. You know why I can't give it to Beat Street? Because of the soundtrack in Crush Groove. But I will say this, Beat Street had a better storyline. But that corny shit that they did at the end of that movie, it invalidated the whole movie. They at the Roxy, partying it up. You know what I mean? Honor Remo. Yeah, party. This is New York. The Roxy. That's a real club. Grandmaster Melly Mel at the time. He on stage, you know, New York, big city. No, he did damn, what was the song? It was a very conscious song. The lyrics was dope. Mel was tearing that shit up. Anyway, and then they made everybody in the club sit down. They sitting down Indian style. I can't do it in this chair. But y'all know what I mean. They sitting Indian style in the club. They turned on all the lights so they could give this positive message about Remo. Can you imagine that in a New York club? They'd be like, if you don't go here with that bullshit, you don't go somewhere with that bullshit. So I'm going with Crush Groove. It's not easy because it's not easy. But I gotta go with Crush Groove. When LL come into the audition, my radio, believe me, I like it loud. I'm the man with the box who controls crap. I'm giving it to Crush Groove. What y'all think? Nicole Ellis says, I'm doing halftime next year. I want to see that. Delta Transmission says Brown Eyed Girls was the longest to stay together. Brown Eyed Girls? I don't even know who that is. Who's that? Oh man, y'all funny. All right. SWV had 30 years as a group together, and they came back together. Their last album that they made was like 2018. But I don't think Did Escape actually ever officially break up? I think they did. I think they did. I know Tasha Scott went solo. All right, Buttercup says, husband-in-laws, you need to chill. I mean, I'm saying, you know what I mean? Mike was, we need Mike. Boys, there's no Boys to Men without Mike. Wild Style not in the running. It was. Wild Style. No, Buttercup. It didn't go from girl groups to just groups. I'm not acknowledging. We're not doing that. This group, this show has a title. It's called Female Groups and Why They Can't Stay Together. And trust and believe that's what we're gonna talk about tonight. So that's Nicole Ellis. That's Nicole and who else is that? Yeah, and Delta and Kevin and Coco. Yeah, nah. We ain't doing that. Watch. You'll see. You'll see. Coco T said Beat Street included all of hip hop, dancing, rappers, graffiti. I've never accepted graffiti as part of hip hop. I've never accepted that. If you don't rap, scratch, or dance, you gonna tell me because you spray paint on walls, you a hip hopper? Everybody else does what they do to a beat. You know, KRS-One he be trying to throw some shit in. He be making up shit. I saw a freestyle from KRS-One, and he said Wild Style came out in 1982. And he only did it to make it rhyme. I'm like, no. That shit came out in late 83. Not even early 83. It came out like November of 83. I'm like, you doing too much, KRS. Chris be doing too much. The Good Girls, never heard of them. Mike, Mr. Ass, or is that Mirage? Buttercup says, where are all these male groups coming from in the chat? Hey, I don't know. It don't matter. But why do female groups not seem to be able to make it past their second album? Some of them make it to the third. Escape has made it to the third. TLC has made it to the third. SWV has made it to the third. SWV came out in 93. They came out with an album in 93. They came out with an album in 96, 97, and then they took a little hiatus, came back in like 2016. Because I know they broke up for a good little while. But they did. They got back together. And they made like 2 albums. One in 2012, one in 2016. So, yeah, y'all do know a lot of girl groups. Y'all just trying to put male groups in there. Okay. Coco T says, also females tend to start families and have to leave the groups or pause. Men don't have to leave the group because mom stays with the baby. I've never heard a female group ever say that they left because they got pregnant or because they needed to start a family. I've never heard that as a reason. I'm just saying, in all of the interviews that I've ever seen and heard or read, that has never been a reason that any of them left. I'm just saying, because if you really think about it, that wouldn't even be a good reason. Because who would better understand the trials and tribulations and the demands of motherhood more than an all-female group? So I've never heard that. As a matter of fact, I remember when Tiny had T.I.'s first child. I guess it was T.I.'s child, because this was in 1995. I went to a show and Escape. They rocked out with just 3 of them. All I need from you is understand. They killed that shit. The song is already dope, but they murdered it without Tiny. Ain't need no Tiny. I don't mean to be demanding, but I want some understanding. I want to be with you. What I need from you is $20. All right. So now, and I remember that she was pregnant because they said it on stage. Like, Tiny couldn't be with us, but she's our sister. But she just gave birth to a baby boy, or whatever, you know what I mean? And yeah, so the crowd was like, oh yeah, but they ain't give a fuck as long as y'all perform the songs. They ain't know who Tiny was anyway. I'm like, all right, whether it's 3 of y'all gonna sing the shit? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Are y'all gonna sing Just Kicking It and Understanding? Hurry up, let's get to it. Let's get to it. Okay, Coco says they don't officially leave, they pause or get temporarily replaced. They don't have enough albums to be replacing nobody. They don't have enough albums. Look, by their third album, listen, the second album, they be out. How many albums does 702 have? 2. 3LW. 1? They might have 2. They normally get 2. But that second album, if it's a female group, it's about to be a wrap. They're about to, all right. Wipe your hands clean of this. It's about to be over. It's about to be over. But I really would like to know why. Like, what is the reason that they can't stay together? Now, there are some, I suspect that there are some hormonal challenges that go along with being in a girl's group. And it seems so consistent that it almost sounds like I'm trying to diss them, but I'm not. But when you have all females living together, all of their periods come on at the same time. So when I say that there's some hormonal activity in a female group, it's true. So I mean, out of how many women that are in the group, how do we know how that hormonal energy affects their ability to be able to stay together, bond together, put up with each other, whatever? I mean, 1 or 2 of them could be PMSing and shit. You know what I'm saying? Imagine it can get bad. It can get bad. They fighting against nature and their own ego, desires, money, and all that kind of stuff. A lot of times because a lot of the female groups are not familiar with each other because they've been put together by producers and managers and record companies and all of that kind of stuff. Because they don't really have a camaraderie with each other, it makes it easier for them to separate. Because after a while, you get to think, just like any other group that you might be a part of. You're thinking like, shit, I didn't get here with y'all. I got here by myself. So I'm going to go do my thing. I catch up with y'all. I guess. But when the money, and if the money ain't right, I know everybody looks at TLC because they sold so many records, and we all know about Pebbles, jerking them and all of that. But they signed that contract. They signed the contract. Now, There are female groups that sign bad record contracts. There are male groups that sign bad record contracts. But for some reason, the male groups seem to be able to stay together and maybe go to another label, get a lawyer, get their shit together, and find a way to get money together. They just seem to be able to do it. They just seem to have more longevity. You don't have no groups, no female groups that have the longevity of a Rolling Stones. You don't have that. Salt and Pepper is barely together. They together, but they ain't recording no new music. They ain't getting in the studio. Salt and Pepper, they totally off the same page. Pepper's still wild and messy. And Salt, she like, listen, I just want to go to church. You know what I'm saying? Maybe have a little glass of wine or something, whatever. I'm just spending my money for the rest of my life. I guess we could do another season reality TV or something. How much is paying? Yeah, I do it. You can get a couple of that shit. Pepper, I ain't doing that shit. Salt straight up said, look, I ain't trying to make no more records. I ain't trying to go on tour. I ain't trying to do none of that shit. Pepper like, nah, man, we gotta get some more money. I'm ready to get into another toxic relationship. Salt like, fucking Scorpios. Salt of Pisces. She like, go ahead, that Scorpio shit. I ain't doing that shit. I used to be wild without you. I grew out of that shit. I used to, Scorpio. You still drinking too much. All right, let me see. Coco says light-skinned girl from Brownstone developed terrible asthma and had to leave. Cindy from En Vogue had lupus and got worse after birth and paused. Same with Chili and her sickle cell. Well, with En Vogue, but that's not what broke them up. You know what I mean? Like En Vogue, they had money problems. I mean, they had money problems. That's what it was. They was making a lot of hit records, and they was getting very little money. They didn't get no money. That's why Dawn left. Dawn left because she wasn't getting no money with En Vogue. Then she went and made Lucy Pearl with Ali Shaheed Muhammad and Raphael Sadiq and got jerked again. Like, damn. Now she want to blame Raphael Sadiq for everything. He manipulated me. Like, you was already running from a no money situation. You ain't demand no money up front. And that Lucy Pearl album was ass. That's why they only made one album. I don't even know why we count that shit. That shit was ass. Garbage. Peace, Nicole. Thanks for coming through. Appreciate you. All right. Buttercup says the En Vogue girl left to start a family. Cindy, the tall one. Tall. Cindy was the one that was in Juice. Or was that Terry? I think that was Terry. Terry was in Juice. That's the one I like. The one that was in Juice. Yeah, I like the one that was in Juice. Yeah, Omar Epps' girlfriend. The one that was in Juice. Yeah. That was Terry. I remember that because I was in shock. Okay. Buttercup said the lupus flared up badly. All right. Okay. The girl said, I gotta pee just watching you drink that. No, this will make you do more than pee. You know what I mean? If I start getting antsy near the end of the show, y'all know why. You'll know. You'll know. But yeah, man, you know, there are some reasons that female groups can't stay together. I'm not really sure exactly what they are, but it's consistent. And I mean, it's consistent in that they disappear. They disappear after that second album. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. Sometimes they come back together. Most times they don't. That shit is like a distant memory. You know, whatever happened to whatever happened to whatever happened to whatever happened to a total. Whatever happened to 702. Whatever happened to 3LW. Whatever happened to TLC. Whatever happened. Whatever happened. I mean, you know, you have to consider that life starts lifing, and sometimes things don't go the way people want them to go. Like some people unfortunately pass away. Like, you know, the girl from Brownstone, she passed. There was a member of Brownstone that wasn't as popular. Her name was Keena, and she did a solo album. That was one of my favorite albums of all time, and that was a good album. Man. That was a good album. If you have a music streaming service, look up Keena. Keena is spelled Kina. And she had that was a good ass album. She was singing her ass off. That's why when who was the girl that was on R&B Divas from Brownstone? Nikki from Brownstone. I ain't know who Nikki was. But then again, I didn't know none of the members of Brownstone. I knew them as Brownstone. Did Brownstone even have 2 albums? They might have had 1. Let me see. How many studio albums did they have? How many studio albums did Brownstone make? 2. 2. 2 albums. Yeah, because 25 Miles to Empty. Wasn't that on their second album? Or was that on their first album? First album? I don't know. Changing Faces. I think Changing Faces had 2, maybe 3 albums, but I don't think so. I think they might have had 2. But their second album was really, really good. I used to play a song called Just More Than Friends, or hold on. Changing Faces. Wait a minute. Cause I got a good song for y'all. This song is okay. No. Let me see. If I can find the album, then I can give y'all the name of the group. I mean, name of the song. No. Okay, wait. I think I found it. More than a friend. Check out Changing Faces. I'm gonna put this in the chat because this song is the dopest. I would, if I could play it on the on YouTube, I would, but you know they get funny. More than a friend. Thank Me Later. If you don't know this song, trust me, you need this song in your life. You need this song. Changing Faces, More Than a Friend. Google that song now. Listen to it. You can listen to it now. You can listen to it later. That song is this shit. And if you've ever had anybody in your life that symbolizes that song, trust me. Like I said, thank me later. Thank me later, baby. Thank me later. Okay. Okay, yeah. So, anyway. So, yeah. Yo, you all right? You good? What's up? No, I saw you over there. You all right? She had a fight earlier. My cat had a fight. She was fighting another cat through the screen door. It was a whole lot of They was going at it. They was going at it through the door. Okay, let's take a look at the poll. Let's take a look at the poll. What do you think is the reason that female groups break up after a short time? Now we got 18 votes, so we have a little bit more intel. Still, money differences only 6%. Catty jealousy issue 22%. Bad contracts 44%. Leadership differences 28%. I'm shocked that people don't think that money is the problem. Yo, I'm shocked. At your job, if you know that everybody around you is getting paid, and you ain't making no money, do you think it's because of a bad contract? Or is it because you can't afford food, gas, rent, play, or anything? It's show business. And the word business is longer than the word show. And that's for a reason. And it's a good reason. Unity. What's good, Unity? So groups give you strength. Do they? I mean, it sounds good. And there may be some validity to that. But when you talk about being in a music group, particularly, it doesn't matter whether it's a male group or a female group, but since we're talking about female groups tonight, you want to get on, you want to get signed, you want to be in videos, you want to go on tours and showcase your talent, but you want to get paid. You want to get paid. Now, if you want to talk about bad contracts and still being able to remain a group, you have to look no farther than New Edition. They never got a good contract. They never got a good contract. No matter what. One thing that was consistent throughout their whole career as a group, no good contracts. No good contracts. But they managed to stay together as a group. Record label to record label. I don't know if y'all know, that New Edition was on Bad Boy Records for a while. They came out with an album in 2003, late 2003, going into 2004. Good album, too. It's a good album. It was on Diddy label. He still shitted on him. I think he always wanted to sign New Edition, and he did. And he straight shitted on him. So, if normally bad contracts are a reason to stay together, like we can weather this storm. But when it gets to the point where y'all only making a little bit of money and y'all having to cut the pie in 3 ways, 4 ways. Yeah. So when I saw Escape on Unsung, shout out to Unsung. Do they have new episodes of Unsung? Because I used to watch Unsung all the time. I used to tape all the episodes. Let me see. Is there a new season of Unsung? Oh, wait. It says return date. The new season of Unsung premiered on Sunday, March 3rd, 2024. I still need to go see that. I need to catch up with that. But yeah. When I saw Escape on Unsung, they were saying how, Jermaine Dupri didn't exactly jerk him as bad as they could have been jerked, but they had creative differences and they didn't want to split the money in 4 ways. And like Latasha Scott was like, I'm the strongest singer here. I get all the leads. I should be the one making all the money. Plus, people asking me to go solo and leave y'all. I think I'm gonna do it. He says true groups do. It's not a group if someone gets fed over. Fed over? What's fed over? I ain't trying to be smart. I'm just trying to make sure I understand what you're saying. That's all. But yeah. I mean, you gotta get paid. You gotta get paid. Like I remember New Edition talking about how they went on tour. They going on tour all around the country, going to different countries and shit. And the tour bus drop them back home in the projects. And they got $1.80, like $1.85 in royalties. Real shit, $1.85. $1.85. Now there's jerking somebody, and then there's just disrespecting somebody. Like, can you imagine that? Can you imagine how much trouble could have been avoided if they would have just gave each one of them $500? They did wind up giving them all Honda scooters. Remember them Honda Elite scooters back in the day? I don't think they had the Elites. I think they gave them the Spree. Remember, look, all my people who grew up in the 80s, you know what I'm talking about. They had the Honda Elite scooters. The Elites were like the motorcycle joints. The Spree was like the mopeds. They was straight mopeds. But I can imagine them driving through the projects like, yeah. barely having enough money to put gas in it, you know, with a dollar 85. Female groups, same shit. Now, if they have children, or you know, if they have children going in, because that happens a lot. Like you look at like Fantasia. Fantasia already had a child when she went on American Idol. So, you know, she can't come home empty-handed. So imagine if you in a girl group, you going on tour, you know what I mean? Y'all got all these costumes, makeup, you know, on tour, y'all rich because everything is paid for. The food is paid for. Y'all go to the club, the drinks are paid for. Everything is paid for. You get home, you can't pay for nothing. And you know your record is selling. You hearing your song on the radio, all your friends, all your families, everybody you know, when you go out in public and people recognize you, they know that you should be paid, and you ain't got shit. So it stands to reason that money issues would be a problem that would have to be handled in order for the female group to go on. But I don't know. A lot of male groups get jerked too. They get bad contracts. They get cheated out of their royalties, publishing as they call it. But they manage to still stay the course. Now, as far as staying the course is concerned, do you think that it's possible that male groups are probably better equipped, more prepared to keep their eye on the total picture, on the big picture? Could it be that male groups just have a way of saying, like, listen, man, we started this together, we're gonna end this together. Because normally in a male group, if one is not getting paid, nobody's getting paid. And when it is unbalanced, where one person is getting paid and everybody else is kind of getting shit on, like any of Teddy Riley's group, they don't last. They go out like female groups. Think about it. Teddy Riley was always putting a group together. And the groups that he put together was always breaking up. Why? Because Teddy was making all of the money. He was making all of the money. And he felt entitled to it. He felt like, well, I'm doing the music. I'm writing the songs. So yeah, I should be getting paid. And I am. And they like, we are the singers. You're not even a singer. You see that bullshit song that you sung on a Guy album? I'm gonna be long gone. Shirley Cheryl, the world's most precious and greatest pearl in the world. Shirley Cheryl, the world's most precious and greatest pearl in the world. What's going on, my good to see me? Good to see me. Good to see me, some you. You know how we do. Thanks for coming on by, coming through. I wish that you could break up in two, so you always be here. Let's make it clear. This year, we gonna set it off. We gonna do a little hard, do a little soft. We gonna play golf. We on the green. Yo, grab me a club. You know what I mean? Everything is going to work out fine. We used to do this thing on the weekends all the time. And we still shine like the sun. That's the first part of my name. Yo, you know, hey, everything is going to go great. We're going to cut up a plate. Where we eat, we ate. This state of confusion. We gonna be winning every day. We don't know nothing about losing. Yo, I'm abusing people who try to get on the train. We ain't gonna do this shit. Life ain't a strain. But sometimes I feel like it's a drain when you're working real hard and you don't believe in God. I'm not saying that you can't get by even if you're atheist. Listen to the shit. We are here. Let's make it clear. Yeah, you're the darling and the dear of the movement. Yo, we show improvement. Everybody understand the shit because we be soothing. Just like a pill, the skills. Yo, it's at will. Yo, it's an at will state. Don't quit. Don't get hated on. Yo, I'm debated wrong. Yo, I said some things and then I hate the song. Change the beat, change the singer, change the song, change the writing, make it better, make it more exciting. I remember the Titans. Turn from the loser to okay, all right. Anyway. Female groups why they can't stay together. Female groups why they can't stay together. Now I don't want to make this a referendum on women per se, but I think it's a phenomenon that needs to be taken a hard look at it. Hard look at it. You know, now listen. Y'all might think this is total bullshit. But you know what? Before I start talking about it, I'm gonna ask about it. We can see that there are challenges. Hey, what up, Cheryl Halsey? Oh, so you and Cheryl, y'all just be coming in together, huh? Cheryl on Cheryl. Cheryl on Cheryl. What came first, the chicken or the Cheryl? What came first, the chicken or the Cheryl? All right. Let me ask y'all this. We know that female groups have a hard time staying together. We know this. It's evident. The proof is in the pudding. We see it. But what about females in groups in life, just friends? Have you noticed any differences between like males that have been cool with each other for years and years and females that have been cool with each other for years and years? Or is it a situation where females talk more about how they was cool with each other when they were younger, but then as they grow older, they wasn't cool no more, or they broke apart, or they just wasn't as close as they used to be? On the friendship front, have you noticed any consistencies as far as females not being able to get along for a long time, not being able to weather the storm, maybe not being able to deal with adversity and changes, growth and development with each other? When I was a landlord, females that shared apartments or rooms or whatever, they didn't last. They didn't last. Now, I didn't have a lot of men that were, that did the roommate thing, but I had females who did it. And that rent would not get paid. Now, there are some extenuating circumstances that may have influenced why the rent didn't get paid. One of the reasons that it didn't get paid was because the females was lesbians. So I imagine there was some discrepancy about who should get paid. Like, yeah, you the man in this marriage or this relationship, but are you really the man when it's time to get this money? Or does your woman make more money than you, so you put the lion's share of the rent on her? What's it going to be? What is it? Do male friendships last longer than female relationships? From your knowledge, just think about the people that you know and yourself. Do female relationships stand the test of time like a lot of male friendships do? What y'all know? What y'all know? Now, when I think about my sisters, they've had kind of like the same group of friends. Well, no. My oldest sister still has a friend or two going all the way back like 40, 50 years. My middle sister, No. My middle sister is closer with people. So she has more lifelong friendships than I would say that my sister does. My oldest sister does. My middle sister for the win as far as longevity in friendships. 40, 50 years, they still going strong. Can't front on that. My oldest sister has changed. Keith Tyler, my brother, my mellow, my man. Why don't you get on the mic or won't you take it a stand? What's going on, man? Good to see you. Good to see you. You already know. You already know. But what do y'all know? What do y'all know? Do female friendships last longer than male friendships, or do male friendships last longer in a group than female friendships in a group last? Now we know in a music group, females are not lasting past 2 albums for the most part. For the most part, but there are a few exceptions. But they are exceptions. Keith Tyler says it all depends. Yeah, everything depends on something. I'm just looking for a raw number. Like when you think about the people that you know, the people that you've seen, and yourself, I almost want to call it even, but I can't. I'm going to say that the male bonds seem to be stronger as a group. As a group. Because males do so many things together. Sell drugs together, go into business with each other. Throw parties, host parties. You know. Keith says 50-50. 50-50, huh? Well, I know in these music groups, it's consistent that the females do not stick together. They be breaking apart. They be breaking apart like cherry pie, homemade. You know, like you cherry pie, man. That should be. You know how cherry pie is. You make a homemade cherry pie, it might be good as hell, but that shit don't stay together, man. You get a slice of cherry pie, it's not like having a slice of nothing. That shit be spilling out, running over. You get a bowl of pie. Yeah, let me get a bowl of that pie. No, don't try to give me a slice. That shit don't work. You want a slice of pie? Try apple or sweet potato or some shit like that. You can't get a slice of cherry pie. Cherry pies is like female groups. It's sweet, tastes good, but that shit gonna fall apart. That shit gonna fall apart. That shit gonna fall. That shit gonna fall apart. That shit gonna fall apart. All right, let me bring it into view. Let me bring it into view, man. Let me bring it into view. Let's do it. Female groups like cherry pie, baby. Don't ask maybe. Yeah, what? Yeah. Yeah. Yo. Females like cherry pie. So if you know, hold on. Let me take off these rings, man. They are confusing the issue. No, this one can stay. Hold on. There we go. All right. Females like cherry pie, the groups. Yeah, they fall apart like soup. Try to eat it with a fork, that shit is sport. Yo, out there you got females like cherry pie. They be breaking apart, you ask why. If you know, you know, so you don't have to ask. But I'm asking you right now, yo, the task at hand. You're not a man, so you gotta break up like making the band. Yo, listen to this shit and how it go. Female groups like cherry pie, they be breaking apart, and I think I know why. Yeah, it could be the money, it could be the fame. One of them wants to have a bigger name. It's not that out of the realm of possibility. Listen to me, like cherry pie, cherry pie, like cherry pie. If you know, you know. Don't ask why. Like cherry pie, arms up, reach for the sky. Like cherry pie, like cherry. Female groups like cherry pie. When you know, you know. You don't have to ask why. Like cherry pie, like cherry pie, like cherry, yeah. Like cherry, like cherry pie. Shit hot, man. Yo, got the tongue, got the turn built. Got the turn. Listen to me. You got your tongue burnt by cherry. You got your tongue burnt by a cherry. Got your tongue burnt. Yeah. This lesson to learn is what? Let's get the flow. We gonna. When you know, you know. You got the. Like cherry pie. Cherry pie. Cherry pie. Like cherry pie, you get the. Like cherry pie, baby. Like cherry pie. Like cherry pie, you get the. 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 Like cherry pie, you with the. Like cherry pie, you get the. Like cherry pie, with the. So y'all understand what I'm saying, right? I'm just. Do you know what I'm saying? Actual facts. Now, y'all ain't gonna get the line. Hold on. Let me see what y'all saying. Let me see what I'm saying. Let me see. Keith Tyler says it's not gonna fall apart. It's gonna be messy as hell stains. That's hard to get out. Oh, messy as hell stains. That's hard to get out. All right, Shirley Cheryl says I have two great friends that have been with me since the age of 12 and 16. One of which we roomie twice with no problems with rent or money or men. No Diddy or anything like that. We still best friends. That's what's up. But that's not like a group. But that ain't like a group though. Hit the like button, y'all. Hit the like button. Stop fronting on the likes. You know what I mean? These likes is light. Y'all light on the likes. I got 22 votes on the poll, but we only got 15 likes. Some of y'all is like holding back on the likes. Like, nah, man. I liked your show last time. I ain't gonna be like cherry pie. Like cherry pie, you get the like cherry with the. Stop being stingy. All right, here we go. Steven Glansberg says my wife's boyfriend. Okay, here we go. God damn it. Y'all made me read this shit. I'm like Obama on the teleprompter. You know, they always said that Barack Obama will read anything that come on the teleprompter. All right. Q Tyler says 752. The rapper CDs. The rapper of the CDs is still now produced by. Oh my God. Really? By Diddy though? Diddy don't really produce records. He suggests samples. That's not. You want to call that produce? All right, we'll call that produce. He don't mess with the. He don't mess with the boards. He don't mess with the boards. We called ourselves In Vogue. Okay. 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 All right. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. All right, let's get back to it. We get back to it though. We're gonna get back to it though. As we proceed to give you what you need, we're gonna cut you, but we're going to band you up. We don't bleed. Here we go. Here we go. All right. KB says, hey, is the show just starting or about to end? We're definitely closer to the end. We started at 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, but we got time left. We got time left, and we're talking about female groups and why they can't stay together. Female groups and why they can't stay together. I don't understand whether it's cold or hot weather, yo. Female groups that just can't stay together. I be wondering. TLC, your 3LV, your SWV, Escape for free. Yo, Total, yo, what's the deal? I don't understand. I asked them how they feel. They feel like they should be rich, but they not. And they made a lot of songs. The beats, melody was hot, and they not getting rich. And that ain't really fair, and I can understand. And for them, I really care. But it's a spare. You gotta make sure you get the lawyer. You signed a contract without a lawyer, and I saw you. Yeah, you was trying to get on and you got put on, but you ain't understand. You got fed in the fire. Time to retire. And when you retire, you supposed to have a dough to keep you going for the rest of the life, and you know the. Yo, the tax man cometh, and so is the bill collector. Yo, you gotta respect the game that you're in, and they don't even know your name, and you've been all around the world, and you ain't experiencing no fame. Not MC Light, she made sure she got right on the business side tonight, but she's not a group, just a single troop. Solo artists, yo, they get jerked too. All right. Okay. Well, okay. Q says, but if we break down one great group, it had to be New Edition. Everybody from New Edition became successful. Yeah, one album. None of their second albums did good. They didn't. A BBD album did okay. It did okay, their second album. But it didn't chart. They actually came out with 4 albums. BBD had 4 albums. One of them came out not too long ago. It's kind of crazy. But I mean, New Edition didn't get paid. They didn't get paid. We was just talking about them a little while ago. But they stayed together. They stayed together even when they broke apart. They didn't disband all the way. They always came back together. But I mean, I guess it's because they were able to keep their eyes on the prize. They knew that they were stronger as a group than they were solo, even when they did well solo. I think they understood that they could keep each other healthier, happier. You know, like Bobby Brown ain't good by himself. He's proven that. You know, I mean, shit. He the only one. He the unhealthiest. You know, Bobby Brown is the youngest member of New Edition, and he looked the oldest. And I mean, looked the oldest visually, and he looked the oldest health-wise. They was all born in like 68. He was the only one born in 1969. And he looked like he looking like Cedric the Entertainer up there. You know, tell me I'm lying. He out there looking like Cedric the Entertainer. He don't look like he could have ever have done them dances that he used to. Looking bad. But as a group, they need each other. Shirley Cheryl says, making me dance around, waking up the neighbors so early in the morning, Sun 752, everyone get up. Yeah, get up. Let's do it. Fuck it. People don't want to answer questions like they being interrogated.
You have a call.
My man, he just wanted to interrupt my drums, but it ain't gonna happen. Yeah. 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 What? Okay. Now go.
My cup I do. Listen, I ain't feeling tonight, man. This early morning.
Feel like a real man should. You already know. Only know one way to feel.
I see you trying to get your soda on. But listen, so talk about male groups that they female groups that break up.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Females. Well, we had to go back to like Diana Ross and the Supremes, the Vandellas. You know, go back in the '60s when when music was music. You know, you go back. There's always in one group that is one or two people that think they bigger than a group or better than a group or can sing or sound better than a lead singer.
Well,
you agree?
I mean, a lot of times it's true, but is that the reason that they broke up, or that's the reason that they break up?
It's this thing called the ego, and once they get in their ego, it is what it is. Look at Destiny Child. Destiny Child is the main, it's the main thing. Matter of fact, if we go back to girl group, look at Salt and Pepper. You know what I mean? Salt and Pepper broke up because of Cinderella. Well, Cinderella broke up because Salt and Pepper. Let's get that right.
Salt and Pepper didn't really break up. They just kind of slowed down.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying Cinderella had to come back and they had to do some things. But when you look when you look, can men and can women groups last longer than men groups, or regardless in friendship or whatever? It's a 50-50, man. But
Nah, it's not.
sometimes,
It's not. And music, no. Female groups do not make it past the second album. They don't make it past the second album. Male groups always, yeah.
SWV had 2 albums.
They had more than 3. They had more than 3 albums. But they are the exception. Look. Okay. They are the exception to the rule. They the exception to the rule. You know, they ain't like, you know how many albums Boys and Men have?
That's what I'm saying. I just looked. But look, you know who's missing off of Boys and Men, right?
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying. I mean, he ain't come out. He got sick. But at the end of the day, you know, look at Jodeci. You know what I mean? They had to leave Devontae alone. They had to come out with KC, JoJo and KC.
Yeah, they made a business. So, they made a business decision. I mean, they couldn't be mad. So, well, see, if you think about it, I was talking about in the groups where one person is making the most money. Yeah, those groups don't last. When it's a group where the money is divided equally, it lasts. That's why you don't hear Earth, Wind, and Fire talking about, you know what I mean? We got to break up. You know what I'm saying? They even the Woo. And you know the RZA was getting paid most of the money because he was producing all of the songs. But they still managed to stay together. There's no way they could ever be a female Wu-Tang.
Nah.
You ain't gonna have nine females that are gonna stay together more than 9 minutes. They out.
Yeah.
Now I think it's interesting.
Hold on. That's not true. JJ Fad.
What about them?
They had 2 albums.
I said more than 2.
Well,
of course they get more than. Of course they make more than one album. The first album blow up, but by that second album they saying peace.
So
it's consistent as hell.
So you ever notice how like Frankie Beverly and me?
No, we're not doing all. We're not doing all that. We're not doing all that. What is the reason that female groups cannot stay together? What is the reason why they always breaking up and they always breaking up fast? What is the reason? You say ego, but they came in. They came in knowing what it was.
No, when that fame hit, and you go out there and you get that rush, it's something totally different. You know what I mean? Like, oh no, I could blow you out the water. It's an ego thing. But though that you got one that probably drink a lot, you got one that want to fight, you got one that's sober, you got one that's Christian. Everybody in the bed at 9 o'clock. I mean, it's different amount of egos. I'm telling you. When you look,
listen. Here's what I need you to actually think about it. Don't guess. You know what I mean? Like yes, you are. You talking about one might do this and one might do. You know what I mean? Come on, man. Hold on a second.
You have a call from.
Oh, that's right. Oh Lord.
So you made it in? You know what I'm saying? You don't come in no late pass. You know what I'm saying? Let me call HR. Let me call HR, man. You know what I mean? So this is the bullshit.
I'm back on suspension.
People just sashay in here. You know what I mean? We got wait. We got 6 minutes left in the show. Now I got to extend it. Now I got to extend the show another 6 minutes. You got 12 minutes to rock.
Look, the reason why that you press your on. Go ahead. Thank you.
First of all, what's going on to both my brothers, man?
What's up, man?
What's going on?
I can't call it. You know how it is, man. But the bid just be calling me, man. Be calling me. Man.
I actually understand that.
But the thing about it, the reason why some of these groups is because jealousy. Some of it is jealousy. Some of it is envy, or it depends on who starts the group up. Because with Diana Ross, I mean, pretty much she laid on her back and broke and made her way up to the top. I mean, you got to also remember, you know, one of her children is by Barry Gordy, so you know that movie Dreamgirls wasn't that far off. I mean, you know.
But see, the thing is, one of the reasons that it's hard to judge or use the Supremes as an example is because they didn't make albums. Motown in the 60s, they didn't make albums. All they made was singles. You understand what I'm saying?
Sure. So they made albums, but sometimes the albums, the hits came out with just the singles with the Supremes. But the thing about it is that when it comes to Diana Ross, you know, it's just, I mean, I'm not going to get off topic because I already know how you do something. No. We talk about this. And I got 12, I got 11, maybe 10 minutes left.
You got 10 minutes. Go ahead, rock.
10. We got 9.
So the whole thing about it is that, let's go to Destiny's Child. You know, pretty much the group was formed around Beyonce. You know, and the father knew what he was doing. You know, if you realize something, it's very rare that you've seen any of the backup singers, Kelly, Latoya Luckett, and Latavia, along with all them three, you barely heard them sing. You know, they might have had bits and pieces, but the lead singer pretty much is somewhat similar to the Supremes. You know, but the group was around Beyonce. You know, actually, you know, I mean,
bless you too. Thank you.
The one woman group is nothing near the men group. You know, you get the jealousy, the envy, the women people who get in their ear and say, you know, you should go single. You should go single. The men groups, you know, they have it like, even, let's look at New Edition. You know, Bobby was kicked out the group, so he had to go solo. Velvet DeVoe was asked by Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis to become Velvet DeVoe. Johnny Gill, when he came into the group, he already had a record deal already set.
Mm-hmm.
Rob Tresvant was already asked in the beginning to leave the group and go solo. He declined not to. So, I mean, but the whole nucleus at any given point in time can come together and form like Voltron and give you a great fucking show.
See, here's the thing. Here's the thing. See, with the groups that you named, even with the Supremes, they have one thing in common that a lot of female groups don't have, and that's knowing each other. You know, Mary Wilson, Flo Ballard, and Diana Ross knew each other.
They grew up. Yeah, they grew up. With
Same thing with Destiny's Child. They knew each other.
Right. Yeah.
Groups like In Vogue, they ain't know each other. They not from the same. They not from the same area. You know what I mean? TLC, they ain't grow up with each other. They ain't know each other. Left Eye's from Philly.
Yeah.
I think T-Boz from like Chicago or something. They ain't. You know what I mean? There was another TLC member before Chili.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they got put together. I was talking about this earlier in the show because you wasn't here, so you ain't hear it. But I was talking about this earlier in the show. You know, earlier when you wasn't here. You know what I mean? Like when you wasn't here, I was talking about this. Groups like even like Total knew each other. But a lot of these 702, yeah.
Janae, 702 knew each other. They knew each other. They went to college together.
Yeah.
Trinity 357 knew each other too.
Who?
Yeah. You talking about it's my guy Three. Trinity,
yeah.
Wait, what was their name? Hold on, what was the name of that group?
Some of them might have already had. Would you say so?
What was the name of the group? Something 357.
Trinity 357.
Oh, I thought you was talking about. Look, I thought he was talking about Oaktown's 357. You know, MC Hammer's group.
Oh, everybody talking about
Yeah,
the
yeah,
old
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm talking about.
Listen, I'm gonna let you know, bro.
They only had 2 albums,
that video
too.
made me happy as a kid.
I hear you. They only had 2 albums, too.
Yeah, but see, the thing about it is that majority of them groups, even though they was put together, they already had dreams of going. Some of the people that was putting them together, the artists already had dreams of being solo. Just like with
See, but see, here's the thing. Here's the thing. When you don't know, when you come into a situation where you don't know the people that you have to now spend all this time with, it's going to be easy for you. Just like you said, they already had solo ambitions. So a group like In Vogue, where any of them could have gone solo, it's hard not to take that position or think about that option, especially when you're not getting paid. In Vogue wasn't getting paid.
And that's what happened to Dawn Robinson.
Well,
she was the first one to defect.
she was the first one to get.
And Escape wasn't getting paid either.
Escape
was another one.
Wait. Escape was getting paid more than Escape, and SWV did better than all the other female groups.
Yeah.
Better than TLC. Because they knew a little bit of the business. Like Jermaine Dupri didn't try to get, he didn't do Escape in that bad. But they said it. They wasn't trying to be chopping that money up 4 ways.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
I think the teacher, the one that was the heavy set girl, the one with the best voice out of the group between her and what's her name?
Candy.
Yeah, her and Candy. Yes, between her and Candy with the heavy set one.
I think the girl name is Dawn. If I ain't mistaken.
No, Letitia. It's Letitia. Yeah, she's the one with the best voice. And she was they've been was asking her to lead a group and do a solo album.
Who's that?
She never did. Huh?
Who's that?
The one from Escape.
Latasha Scott.
Latasha Scott, yeah.
I tell you, Natalia, it was yeah.
You know, she stuck. Some of these groups stick it out, but at the end of the day, what breaks them up is infighting. It's even the ones that you put in, that you bring together like that. You know, because Escape was put together like you just said, like all these groups. You know, it was just brought in, like I said, you put together like Voltron.
Well, Escape, they did know each other. They actually came.
No. Because Tiny, she was like one of the last ones to come in.
Right, they didn't know each other. They was put together.
The woman formerly known as Tiny.
Right, but they was put together.
She's like
making the band.
John
like
Carpenter.
How Diddy was trying to make the band and come up with this different, different people to throw them in the band and try to make it. You can't use that comparison. You can't use that comparison.
Like the one,
no, because it was a contest. It was a contest. You know what I'm saying? We talking about a signed group.
Yeah,
you had to make. It was making the band. You know what I mean? They was already a band.
They signed the Bad Boy.
The group that Diddy put together from the band. The girl, what's her name? Camille Cabell, and the one that left and put a solo album out.
Wait, you talking about? You talking about Danny Kane?
Danny Kane, yeah.
Oh, okay.
When she left Danny Kane, she went out there and put a solo album out. Dawn from what is it? No, matter of fact, Camille Cabello wasn't from Danny Kane. She was from the group that Simon Cowell put together from off American Idol. She was from that group. Danny Kane, Dawn left first because I guess
Dawn is a dope ass artist, man. She's a dope ass artist.
And she was a dope artist and a dope ass singer. She was one of dancer, singer and a dancer.
Oh, okay.
She was in a movie Stop the Yard.
Well, I know I had her first album, a second album, and a third album. That first album was on fire.
Yeah?
Fire.
Yeah, he played in that Louis video with him.
Mm-hmm.
Thick as shit.
But you know,
before we hang up,
thick as fucking she was thick as fucking cold, damn, peanut butter.
Oh, here we go. Yo, before I gotta go, cause I gotta get up at 6. Listen, when you read my message, read it out right. It says CD in store, produced by Diddy, published by R. Kelly. Get it right.
I'm not reading that shit.
Yeah.
How about that? Matter of fact, I'm fucking around and delete the comment.
Fuck around and did. Why you gonna delete it? I mean, you was trying. I was trying to.
I'm deleting it because you causing you calling attention to it. Let me find this shit and get rid of it. So nobody hear about this. Nobody come by here later. Like even his own boys be. They gonna be like even his own boys be shitting on him.
Listen, son, I guarantee you. We need to go to New York. New York ain't got no baby oil, dog. We can sell some baby oil 2 for $5, 5 for $3 up in New York.
Oh man, all you had to do is say you don't want to be on this call no more. We can make that happen.
That is like that though.
I mean, that's all you had to say. I mean, everything don't have to be. Everything don't have to be hard. No Diddy. You know what I'm
saying? No Diddy, no gay. Yeah, whatever. But anyway. To my two brothers, y'all take it easy, man, and I catch y'all on the flip side. You know what I mean? As I always say, love, peace, and hair grease. Deuces.
Yo,
yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, you a lot of things you said is right. The Voltrons that was put together. I think them ones stuck it out longer than the ones that knew each other. The ones that knew each other, some majority of them, only one that I can really think about is, I'm talking about, is In Vogue. In Vogue is like Legos. They'll find another piece and put right back in there. In Vogue do it real quick.
But
every time you turn around.
But they never had a good contract.
Right? A lot of people screwed them around, man.
That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
And that's the whole thing about it. It's just like, it's pretty much, In Vogue was like the girl version of New Edition when they came out. They got screwed with their contract. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, at the end of the day, them the ones, and Dawn went on, she didn't even go solo. She went on and did that shit, what is it, with, Raheem, Ali Shaheed Muhammad and Raphael Sadiq. I want some money tonight. I want to dance tonight.
Man, that album was ass.
Well, that one song was on point.
It was all right.
That one song was on point. But other than that, that's all he had was one song. I didn't even hear those.
Man, that album did not deserve to sell shit.
Mm-hmm.
But you get jerked for 2 albums in Vogue, and then you go and go in another group and get jerked again.
Yeah.
Like this ain't for you, man.
Then you realize.
And now you on the internet talking about you been living in your car,
right?
Yeah, you talking about you live. But see, I don't have no sympathy for it now because she voted for Trump. I'm like, I don't give a fuck.
There you go.
I'm like, well, you deserve to live in your car.
Go ahead and march. Go ahead and march tomorrow with everybody else. We can do it. Get out the car while they marching past the car. Get out my car.
Oh man. All right, man. That shit is crazy.
No, man, that's what I'm saying, man. It's not really. There's really groups like that has longevity, though. Jones Jet and the Black Hawks, they can always come together and form like Voltron. There's groups that can come out right now and Total on them is on tour, but the dark skin one is not on tour with them. It's just her and the other one that barely sung anything. She only just sung one line.
Keisha, Kima, and Pam.
Yeah. Kima and Pam was the most the ones that the ones that sung the most.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think Keisha and Pam was the ones that sung the most. Kima
it was
just a bar. She sung maybe one line. Oh baby, can't you see?
But see, here's the thing. My thing is, when you whether you are a background singer or whether you are lead or whatever, you know, if you know your role, you know your role. It seems like with these female groups. Now I can't verify this, but it just seems like they didn't get their business straight from the beginning. You know what I mean? Like they weren't, they didn't solidify like, listen, this is what you're going to do. This is what you're going to do. And this is what we're going to do. We're going to keep the lines of communication open. So, you know what I mean? When things start to break down, instead of us, taking the first exit out of here, we're going to try to make this thing work. You know what I'm saying? Like we can be better, we can be stronger together. I don't think that female groups seem to think that they can be stronger as a unit rather than solo. Because when they go solo, I mean, they might do good on their first project, but it don't always work. It don't always work as a solo. Sometimes it does. We have notable examples of when it went really well, and maybe for a good while. But you know what I'm saying? Like,
that's few and far. That's far and few in between and all that shit.
But
not many of them. You have a few, that broke up. Nope. But my man said Martha and the Vandellas, they never broke up. They never broke up.
They never broke up, but they just got old and passed.
They got older, and they still do the revival tours, but they never broke up.
But there was a lot of problems with there was a lot of problems with Martha and the Vandellas, though. There was a lot of,
definitely.
You know what I'm saying? It was, because I mean they was getting bad contracts back then.
Yeah, and
she wasn't having it.
So we gotta agree that it's either infighting or bad contracts that breaks up groups.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I mean, that's two of them. What else could it be? Like even death of one of the singers. Like
I think that the thing that breaks them apart more than anything else is money. You go on tour, you had everything paid for. You know what I mean? Basically, you feeling rich while you on tour, and you come back home and you can't pay your rent, and you can't buy your mom a house, and you can't drive you can't drive the cars that you was driving in the videos. That reality, that shit come down on you hard. You know what I mean?
But I also, if that's 1A, what you saying, then 1A, then if that's 1A, then 1B is the infighting. Because let's look at Coco from SWV.
Mm-hmm.
They always wanted to go solo. And the one that's married to the boy that played for
she had two solo albums.
Yeah, but that was after leaving SWV.
Right, of course.
Right. That was after everything slowed down and
Lily really don't sing, and Taj
Well, but the thing is, there was always infighting because Coco was always getting the pretty much she was the Ralph Tresvant of the group.
I mean, what were the other choices?
Only time we heard that one right there. Sorry for interrupting, but only time we heard Lily sing is when she sung on "Use Your Heart."
Did she sing on that?
Yeah,
that's one of my favorite songs by them.
But yeah,
go Lily.
She the one she sung on that. Not Lily. What's her name? The other one.
Oh, Taj.
Yeah, Taj. She sung on that. She sung that part. That, and you left me helpless, screaming like a child. That was her part.
Okay. She sung. No. She on other songs. She had parts. She had parts.
She had,
but she didn't get no solo. You're right about that. She didn't get no solo.
No solo song, or she didn't. Anytime you get a yell and screaming part, but that's not a part. You know what I mean? You might get an ad-lib. She was the fucking takeout from Migos.
Yeah, I mean, well, listen. Now imagine if you not getting paid and there's infighting. Because you can probably put up with the infighting when you got a pocket full of money and a bank account full and something nice sitting out front and a driveway. You know what I'm saying? With a house with a. But when your pockets is broke, and you like, and this bitch get on my fucking nerves too.
Yeah.
It's probably going to multiply that frustration. Like, you know what? I'll be goddamn if I'm gonna be broke and submissive.
Yeah.
I'm out of here. You know what I mean?
I'm going to use my heart and leave my ass out.
Like, look, I told my last man I could do bad by myself. Well, this is gonna go for these bitches too. I'm out. You know, like enough is enough.
Yeah, but we all know. I mean, there's a longevity in this. Looking at that word right there.
Right.
With the groups that's put together, though. You know what I mean? Some of them might want to leave, but they don't leave. They stick around until like the end. And some of them, like Coco, didn't. The group had already broke up when she went solo. You know what I mean? And her albums, you know, when you used to seeing people together like that, you really don't want to, see them apart at times. Like Beyonce, we didn't care if she left the group because she was the star of the group.
She was the group. You know what I mean? She shouldn't have been.
Beyonce and Destiny's Child. She was fucking the David Ruffin of the Temptations.
Well, I mean, she was too co-signed. At least with David Ruffin, it was his ego that made him feel like he was what he was. I mean, her dad literally just used the rest of them to catapult her career into stardom. You know what I'm saying? So they wasn't going to win.
Everybody else was glorified backup singers until Kelly realized that she can do a solo album, and she did a couple things. And her solo album came up on the cusp of her singing the song, the backups, the chorus to. I like
Kelly Rowland. I like Kelly Rowland, but I would never want to be a Kelly Rowland or a Memphis Bleak.
Yeah. Well, Kelly. I think Kelly did better than Memphis, but the only reason why Memphis had really longevity and still can do whatever is because that's like Jay-Z little brother to him.
He had 3 successful albums. They each went gold, but he never could get that. That's why Jay-Z was always saying he was one hit away from, because he couldn't hit that platinum. He couldn't ring the bell.
You know, if we were to change the name to one road in Philadelphia that describe Memphis Bleak, it'd be Lincoln Drive or Kelly Drive. Because he never quite made that turn.
You know what? Oh my God. Listen, you went over your 6 minutes, you no good. All right, man.
Anytime I'm on the phone with my brother, 6 minutes, 10 minutes is more than like an hour to me, bro. So I mean,
but that's what's up. I said that's what's up. And that Lincoln Drive and Kelly Drive, Joe, that's the classic. I like that.
Like, oh no, I'm gonna call you later on the day before we get on after we get on. I've been writing my shit out, man. My set out, man.
All right, that's what's up.
And I gotta tell you about it.
Okay, good look.
So we gonna get together, man. We gotta get together. We gotta go do a brunch thing or something. Me and you, man. Sit down and talk.
Let's do that.
We gotta put the band back together, man.
Okay. It's gonna be a duet though. We ain't fuck them niggas. All right, I'll holler at you later.
All right, much love, bro.
All right. That's what I'm talking about, man. We about to get on the body here. Let's do the poll results. Let's see what the poll looking like. All right. Let's see. We got 28 votes on the poll. What do you think the reason is that female groups break up after a short time? Money differences, only 11%. Catty jealousy issues, 25%. Bad contracts, 39%. And leadership differences, 25%. Well, the people have spoken. Let's speak to this. We have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious day. 20 years. 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 20 ye is April 4th, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special because they are special, because they are special, because they are SPECIAL. We get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. We get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They get number one out the box, Ken Adams and Lydia Johnson, I do, and Richie Cox, Karen Kilby, Mika Tillman, Tracy Ann Monique Gordon, Lily Cologne, Katina Mosley, my girl Angel Bahia, Hector Dodley, Melanie Ford, and last but not least, my man from Penn State, Lake Lewis. I want to say happy birthday to all of y'all. And I hope that today finds you all in good health, happiness, mind, body, soul, and spirit. And that goes out to each and every person out there born on this glorious April 4th, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out, rock on it, do the jam, to rock out. Rock on it, do the damn, rock out. Rock on it, do the damn thing, you do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings, you do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. Anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours. And I said, go hard, go for yours. And remember, yeah, girl groups can't keep it together. I don't understand whether it's cold or hot weather. And you think that it would be different because they always got the girls trip and they rip and run. Have a lot of fun. That's what they always say. Yo, the girl code is something you gonna disobey. So why can't they get the money when they all in the group? What's up with that, True? Somebody need to tell me how come they can't get together and sell the records all the way up to the ceiling, double platinum, getting right at it and make it happen. Yo, what happened? Why y'all not together? Why y'all breaking it apart? Why you can't show your art? Did you make it solo? You throw your bolos. Make sure you do your thing. Yeah, I'm counting on 10 toes. They all down on the ground. Yo, you stand tall. But y'all can stand together with each other. One for all for one. Yo, until the day is done, y'all was on tour get money and have a lot of fun. Oh, the money wasn't right. Management wasn't right. So why don't y'all break away from management tonight? Why y'all want to be a part instead of be formed? Make sure you're soft and warm. A quiet storm. Yeah, I was listening to you. I had a poster all over my walls, all two of you, plus the other two, and that was for. What's it all for? I wish y'all was together more. The score got counted up and real tallied. I would be down for you. April 5th rally. I ain't going out for that, yo. I'm chill, but I'm talking about something else. Yo, I think we will be together. Let's stay together. We're gonna do that tonight. I said, let's stay together. Well, if you can stay together tonight, we get it right. Maybe tomorrow, don't have to beg, steal, and to borrow. No sorrow. Tears running down my cheeks, trying to scrape up some lunch money for the rest of the week. Gotta get on the bus, public transportation. Yo, the pockets is flat and it's causing much frustration. The kids want a couple of dollars. They want a new phone and I can't afford that shit. And I'm not at home that I can afford. Gotta pay the rent and sometimes gotta blow the landlord because the money's spent. Well, at least he looked out for the cookout. I ain't talking about me. I'm talking about them females. Exactly. Y'all know, no Diddy. Everything is love. Everything is good. Everything is comprehended. Everything is understood. Everything is all wood. Everything is going steel. Everything is going silver, gold, and platinum. How you feel? Everything is going to be real. Real to real. It's on tape. Yo, the shit got recorded. Yo, the teacher, he taught it. I sported a brand new watch and a chain, and I was getting much money out of here. Ain't the damn thing changed. Just like nice and smooth, I'ma prove that it's time for us to get on this line, just like a groove, heat wave. You know what I'm talking about? Start the story. Yo, I hope them girl groups finally reach their glory. I want to thank all of y'all for coming by. We be back 1 o'clock in afternoon, 1:30. Yo, try to make it. If you can't, I'ma understand. But 1:30 tomorrow p.m. Eastern time, and we gonna make sure we stand tall, high as hell. Make sure we get this thing, your people, clientele. They coming through to get their head dig. You just split the wig, making sure the shit is hot. You dig? Peace out. Gotta go. Take off the necklace. Going to get out of here. Crazy, crazy, reckless. Loosen up my button. Start getting crazy loose. All of a sudden, take off microphone, spit in it. 4 cup rhymes, get real loud. Y'all hear this shit? I'm out. Peace. Yo, now make sure that y'all hit the like button. Stop acting like a whore or treat me like one. Yo, you know what I'm one. Yo, you know how we do. You know the show is all done. Peace to y'all. My man Troy D, Shirley Hunt. West is coming through good. All right, y'all. Urban Therapy with Sun Show tomorrow or today. 1:30 p.m. Make sure y'all come through. We're going to be talking about something hot. Well, I mean, real hot. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, I think I got the topic. Hold on, let me see. I think I got the topic. I'm ready to fire it up. Hold on. Oh, this is going to be. Oh, yeah. Y'all want Tomorrow or today, we talking about casual marriage relationship. A casual marriage relationship. So you know how you have a casual sexual relationship? Casual sexual. We talking about a casual marriage relationship. Do you know how that could look or how it would look? That's what we talking about today. Casual marriage relationship. This marriage ain't real. This marriage ain't real. Peace, y'all. Hit the like button, share the show, subscribe to the channel. Don't be a hater all your life. Peace.